Hello, this is Gary007 and welcome to my channel. This is a beginner's guide in Farm Simulator 19, and we're going to go into, we're not just going to touch on the surface, we're sort of go into a bit more depth about what's a good crop to grow. So I bought an expansion just briefly of the class tractors, and I'm staying with that theme within the game. So what is another way to make a bit of money? The way to make money in this game, I find very easily, is to grow grass. So grass has a bonus to it, and what we're going to do with grass, we're going to turn it into silage. We won't turn it into hay bales because there's no money in it. We won't sell the grass as it is, there's no money in it. But selling it as silage, there's a lot of money in it, and it's quite easy to do. This is one way to farm. You can grow crops if you like, but you're just not going to get the return. The bonus thing about grass, I think this grass field is ready. Yep, it's ready. The bonus thing about grass is that once you've mowed it, you only need to spray fertilizer on it once more, and it's good to go. You don't need to spread fertilizer twice on a field. You don't have to worry about lime on a field. You don't have to worry about anything. You can just when you just plant it, and that's it. You're done. That's it. You're done. And this is money in the bank all through here. So this game that I'm playing, I'm only 3 days into the game, 4 days into the game. So I've set myself up to do silage. So these silos here ferment the silage in them. I love this mod. Now this is a mod that you can get. We'll have a look at where it is. So in silos, you can get this mod, these silos T800s. Now they're $45 a day. That's nothing really, but it produces silage at a rapid rate, which is what we want. At the moment, it's got 64,000 litres of silage in there, and the fermentation process, it's around 65% capacity, the input at the moment of grass I've got in there, and I just dump in there and sell when I can, when the market is right. So if we have a quick look at the market of silage, this icon here, at the moment is $132. It's the only downside with silage is there's only one sell point. There's not multiple grain sell points. There's only one sell point, and the sell point is at the barn. With silage, when we're dealing with silage, we have to wait until the market goes up to around $300 plus $320 when it comes to dealing with silage. So we want to make sure the price goes up. So when it's this low, I wouldn't sell. I hold on to it. The equipment that you kind of need is you'll need 2 tractors. You can get away with 1 if you don't want to plan on using a worker, but 2 is the minimum. I would go with 2 tractors. I got one bigger tractor, which is an 840. This is a 290 horsepower tractor. This one is a 200 horsepower tractor. So what I do, and this is of course a loading wagon. Now when you first start off, you might not be able to afford a very expensive loading wagon. So I use this to collect the grass in behind the windrower. Now the loading wagon I've bought, I've just recently got it, which is $140,000 to buy this one, but it's got a 53,000 litre capacity. It's actually quite a large capacity, and that's the idea. I didn't want to make lots of trips in and out of the field, and this is how I go and sell my goods to the barn. Now if we look at the map, I've decided on the field, on these fields, because it's close to the barn. It's not much of a travel to get to the barn. I can cut across the paddock. or you can drive properly on the road, but yeah, depends on how frantic you are. But the barn is not very far away. You notice that the barn on most of the maps, there's only like one that will buy your silage. So you want to be relatively close to the proximity of selling your goods to the barn when you're looking at properties to do silage like this. The other way that you can do silage, besides using a foraging wagon, is to use a baler. Now the baler is quite... It's priced at about 78,500. The one that you could probably buy 76,000, right? So this is part of an expansion pack that I got, but you could buy a baler at 76,000. And what this does is it wraps up the silage, it gathers up the grass, comes out the other end, and it bales it into silage. I like to call it baleage, but everybody to their own. But the silage bales basically. And it's instant fermentation, so there's no waiting process. I was doing this for a while. I got a little sick of it, so I tried a different tack, and the different tack is using that foraging wagon over there. What you need is a mower as well. So you notice I don't have any harvesters. I don't need a harvester. I had one seeder, a couple of plows just to plow the fields over real quickly, so I can get planted and seeded. I didn't even bother harvesting any crops. I couldn't harvest them anyway. One was potato. I can't remember what the other one was. Beets, I think. And one was corn. And I wasn't going to buy a harvester to just do corn. Or rent one out, at least one. So I just plowed them all under and just planted grass. So you need a good mower to top the paddocks. So it's over in mowing section. And you'll probably buy something like this, a front mower and a side mower. So the grass is ready to go. So what I'll do is I'll jump into my tractors, and we'll show you. I'll show you how this is all supposed to work out. So what I'll do is I will drop the front spray tank on this. Now this can make you a lot of money, right? So at the moment I'm making about 16 grand per 53,000 litres or something at the moment. The prices on this map don't seem to be as good as other maps for some reason. So we'll get our mowers. Now this is the 840 class tractor, so this is 290 horsepower or something. So it's got a bit of grunt, and it needs to for the foraging wagon because it's so big. We'll just unplug this one. So we'll just fold out our mower, drop to the ground, turn it on, unfold the front one, drop it down, right, so I've just hired a worker. So this is what you do is you'll mow the field. Mower is important. I love the green colour of the class tractors, it looks pretty cool. Awesome. What we'll do is we'll jump into our little tractor. I'm going to get a windrow. Oh, so that trailer over there is an autoloader, if you wanted to know. So this trailer over here is the autoloader, and this is the one I use to pick up the round bales after the baler. I like autoloaders. I don't care if it breaks the fantasy of the simulation. I can live with it. Oh, also the good thing about grass is instead of crops, right? So I'm not saying this is the be all and end all of everything in the game. I'm just saying that if it rains, it doesn't matter with grass. You can still harvest it. So we'll unfold our windrow. So this is in the windrow section. If you wanted to look, so just in there. So over in the menu, and you just pick the windrow you can afford at the time. This is a cost-effective way of doing things. I'll just hire a worker. I'll just do it myself. And it will. You can see it as it's collecting all the grass in a nice little row. And then buying the grass. That's a small one. I was going to buy a bigger one, but I think I'm going to buy a bigger tractor, I think, next. I'd probably like a bigger tractor. So what we're going to do is we're going to stop him right now, right? We're going to drop off the equipment. We're going to get our foraging equipment. Cool. Don't need to drop the gear like that in real life. Good thing about these silos I really like is you don't have to spend hours trying to pack silage bunkers down. So we'll drop this. We'll turn him on. And we will just start collecting all this money. Now these fermentation silos will take a little bit of time to do, but this is another option instead of using the baler. Come on, you could do it. Normally I use the other tractor, this one's a little bit. You can do it. There we go. So you need a foraging bin. You'd want to get the biggest one you can possibly get because you're going to use this to cart your silage to. There we go. So we've done that. So we've collected what we needed. Unload. And that is how, and that's the process. So at the moment I think the prices are a bit awful for silage, so I'm not going to go and sell a bunch of silage at 133 bucks. But that's essentially how the process works. Of course the third option instead of using this mod, this silage mod, is to actually put down the bunkers. I think they're in here. So these small bunkers, you could put them down on your farm like this if you wanted to. Right. I'm not going to do it here, but you can do that. And then what you do is you'll dump a load of grass into those bunkers, and then once you get to capacity you're going to have to roll it. It may take half an hour to drive all over the top of it, and then you seal it, and then it takes 24 hours, 24 hours to ferment, and then you're right, you pull the covers back, and then you've got to load it up onto your trailer. It's kind of quite a manual process, I know that from real life. Throwing tyres off the top of silage bunkers and stuff like that. Because I worked on a dairy farm, so throwing tyres off there full of water and all the rest of it, and it's cold. You know, cows love silage. They really love silage. So that's one way of making money in Farm Sim 19. So hopefully you've enjoyed this short video, and yeah, leave a like, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment. Alright, thank you, bye.